Hello, and welcome to Second Edition. We have an excellent show for you today.
The first tabletop cafe in Edmonton has never been busier, plus how seasonal parking bans affect the city.
But first, the Alberta government is taking a step towards protecting Edmonton's homeless. Overcrowded emergency shelters have caused the Alberta government to take action. The Alberta government committed $21.5 million to homeless and women's shelter relief last Wednesday. The majority of the money will be put towards emergency homeless shelters in the province. The new funding is projected to support 14 emergency shelters for the next 5 months. Trent Daly said this when asked about the importance.
Any system that can keep people alive, that can get people to those supports and get people to those recovery points, to get people into safe housing, like that is what we need.
The other $8.5 million will go towards COVID-19 facilities and women's shelters. These are both services that have been overwhelmed during the COVID-19 pandemic.
After the first snowfall of the season, seasonal parking bans have been put into place. The City of Edmonton has put new parking bans in effect, causing many parking spaces to be lost while Phase 1 and 2 of snow removal were underway. Major roads and bus routes were cleared on Wednesday, and residential roads were cleared directly after.
Yeah, the parking bans are annoying and kind of frustrating, but I understand why they're necessary. The city needs to get the roads cleared so that it's safer to drive and everybody's kept, safe and alive, so.
Edmontonians can expect the parking bans to return many times this winter.
A rise in Edmonton fires is causing worry in the city. In the last year, Edmonton fire rates have been increasing steadily. From May to October 2021 alone, there were 281 reported fires. Most of these have been located in northeast Edmonton. A lot of these fires have been suspected or reported as arson. An Edmonton firefighter had this to say when asked about the effect of the increase.
It's affected the job because it's not just fires that we respond to. We respond to motor vehicle collisions, ice rescues, gas leaks, medical events, and tying up resources with fires definitely just affects other events that we go to as well.
Edmonton Fire Rescue Services said the most common target right now is abandoned buildings, but is putting in new systems for faster response time in hopes of increasing safety for citizens.
A new initiative is gaining steam in the heart of our city on one corner of Whyte Ave. This is Pride Corner on Whyte Ave. Every Friday, this group of LGBTQ+ members and allies gather to play music and dance along. This weekly event holds a greater purpose, though, to keep LGBTQ+ youth safe.
I think it provides a sense of safety. We've heard so many kids that have come up and said, I feel safe here, I feel safe walking by, I don't feel like I need to walk 2 blocks away so I can walk down Whyte Avenue anymore and avoid those creatures.
The organizers say they plan to continue the event throughout the winter.
A game board cafe in Edmonton is making all the right moves.
Tabletop Cafe opened up 8 years ago and is becoming a hotspot for people to gather. Our Adil Ahmed has more on that story.
With winter fast approaching, people are finding different ways to stay social throughout the cold weather. I came to sit down with Tabletop Cafe owner Brian Flowers to get more insight on what his cafe is all about.
It's Alberta's first board game cafe. You come in, it's $7 per person per day. You play as many games as you want. We have obviously a ton of games to play, and we can teach you how to play them, or you just take our suggestions and play whatever you like. You just basically hang out and have a good time.
The idea of the game board cafe, things like that. When you were first coming up with the idea of having a game board cafe, what was that process like for you? Why a game board cafe? What led to you coming with the decision?
Yeah, it was kind of a combination of what my friends were wanting to do, but we wanted to play more games and we couldn't always find the right people, as well as one time someone forgot to bring the game that we were supposed to play to someone's house, and we're like, that'd be so much easier if they were all in one place. And we got together that night and kind of came up with the idea for a board game bar, and then they slowly backed out over time, and I kept going with it, turned it into more of a cafe model, and here we are today.
you know, how has over the last 8 years since you've opened up the store, how has the feedback been like with customers? Like, have they enjoyed just having this cafe around and just having, you know, the drinks and the food around as well while they're playing games with each other? Like, how has the feedback been from what you've heard?
It's been well received over the years. People often choose it as their first date, so we often see like a whole relationship go through of like the first date, and then they come back, and they eventually have kids, and it's kind of interesting to see that over time. But some of the food items, like the carrot cake's been on the menu as long as we've been here, and that's always been a favorite. And it just seems to be a place that people view as a safe space that is a good place to hang out.
And what's the look ahead for this company, for Tabletop Cafe as a whole? What's the look ahead? What are you planning to do moving forward?
The goal is to one day re-expand and like get more into online sales and do more out of house events like Comic-Cons and conventions and all that sort of thing, as well as set up like board game fairs in schools, but we can't really do that right now. So.
All right, thanks so much for your time, Brian. For Second Edition News, I'm Adil Ahmed.
Even though Halloween is over, ghosts never sleep.
That's right, Fort Edmonton Park is having a paranormal tour event that occurs after dark. Jaden Bayrak is on the case.
Hi, my name is Jaden Bayrak, and I'm interviewing LAC Huckaluk here for the Paranormal Tours that is happening right now in Fort Edmonton. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you walk us through what a tour would look like?
So guests arrive to the Capitol Theatre where they get a bit of an orientation, an agenda for the night. We learn about safety protocols, sort of what to do if something happens. We like to say we have swimming pool rules, so if something, you know, potentially frightening happens, don't get up, don't run in the dark, that won't be a safe situation. From there, guests actually get to board our streetcar and take a streetcar to their first location where they spend 45 minutes exploring the building for paranormal activity, hearing some of the stories, perhaps sharing some of their own paranormal stories, and then from there they basically grab a streetcar ride and move on to the next two buildings.
So when preparing for an event like this, what kind of challenges arise?
Yeah, that's a great question. This program is part of our After Dark programming. So we have our big dark Halloween attraction that takes place in October. And this is sort of more of a niche product that maybe you like to watch scary movies around Halloween, but for the rest of the year you don't want to bother with ghosts or ghouls or whatever. So this is a product that if this is your thing and you want to enjoy this outside of the Halloween season, you can. So from a product development standpoint, this is, I think, one of our first really niche products that we have at Fort Edmonton Park.
When does the tour and event usually start and finish?
Yeah, so Paranormal Tours runs Sundays and Wednesdays. Our first tour is at 6:30 p.m. and our final tour is at 7 p.m. The tours run in tandem with each other. Tickets are almost sold out. In fact, we only have tickets available for Wednesday, December 1st. So if anybody's interested, get on those tickets quick. They are going very fast.
Thank you so much for answering our questions here. You had really great answers.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. I'm Jaden Barak for Second Edition.
After the break, a ski club in Edmonton has opened its doors.
Also, a Christmas gift market for charity. We'll have more when we return. Welcome back to Second Edition. The Snow Valley Ski Club is now open to the public.
And the Christmas gift market sold crafts for charity. Ian Tidswell joins us in studio. Ian?
It can be tough to find activities in the city as the weather gets colder. Why not embrace the snow and get out on the slopes? One of Edmontonians' favorite winter hangouts is back up and running for the season. Snow Valley Ski Club opened up to the public last Saturday. There are some restrictions in place, but nothing that gets in the way of all the fun.
Come to Snow Valley because we're doing the restriction exemption program. You need to be double vaxxed and have proof of that with the QR code along with your picture ID. If you want to go with the PCR test, it has to be no older than 72 hours.
If you're looking for even more slopes to ski, Rabbit Hill opens today, and Marmot is already running. As the season of giving approaches, it's good to take time to consider people and pets in need.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas, everyone!
The Second Chance Animal Rescue Society's holiday market was bustling with holiday spirit last Sunday. Crafts, baking, and so much more filled the tables, tempting guests and the odd furry friend. The market helps to fund SCAR's mission to help as many homeless pets as possible.
I really stand behind the work that SCARS does. I do believe they're making a difference in the animal rescue community. The numbers speak for themselves, and I just love helping out.
SCARS helps over 2,000 animals every year with tireless work from its volunteers and funds it raises from events like this. An online auction with items from the event runs till November 28th.
Those animals are so cute. What a great cause.
And I'm looking to, getting in a little skiing over the holiday break.
Thanks, team.
Now, a how-to on making friendship bracelets, plus a walkthrough of Edmonton's theaters.
But first, we join SJ Nazal with tips for driving in the winter.
Driving in the winter is hard, but it doesn't have to be unsafe. Today, I'm going to show you a few things you can do to make sure that when you're driving, you're doing the best you can to stay safe. Your tires are the only thing touching the street, so you have to make sure to change your tires to good winter tires and check your tires before driving. While driving, make sure to maintain enough distance between you and the car in front of you for another car to fit. This way, if you slip, you have enough room to stop before hitting the other car. Cars driving by might throw dirty snow at your windshield, and that's why you always should fill your windshield fluid. Roads can be really bumpy in the winter, so make sure you drive slowly and always use your blinkers. Now let me take you to the house to show you how to make an emergency box for when you're stranded in the snow. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to have is a container. This container is where you're going to be putting all of your emergency pack stuff. So the first thing we're going to be putting in the container is candles, lighters, gloves, socks, hand warmers, snacks, lotion, power bank, and a blanket. And then close the box and then put it in your trunk. Now that you know a little bit more about driving in the winter, I hope you can all drive safely. For Second Edition, SJ Nazal.
Edmonton's Jasper Avenue has been home to some of the city's earliest movie theaters, such as the Gem, the Strand, the Original Capitol, the Rialto, the Odeon, all of which have long since been demolished. In fact, behind me here you can see the Paramount is still standing, but hasn't actually been used as a movie theater in well over a decade.
Up until renovations in 1985, the Paramount was Edmonton's largest movie theater, seating 1,500 people. It opened in 1951 and played its final movie, Rugrats Gone Wild, in 2003.
Edmonton has a rich history when it comes to classic movie theaters.
This vacant lot was home to the Gem Theatre in 1913, one of Edmonton's earliest cinemas. It was the longest remaining original theater until it was demolished in 2010. The 1913 Pantages Theatre hosted famous vaudeville entertainment before becoming the iconic Strand in 1931. It was demolished in 1979. The Princess Theatre opened its doors in March of 1915 to usher in a whole new era of film and entertainment. The two-screen art house sits over 500 audience members in total and was Edmonton's only South Side theatre until 1940.
COVID-19 has taken its toll on local businesses, and Edmonton's Princess Theatre is a part of that struggle. As of November 1st, Edmonton's oldest surviving theatre is temporarily closed until further notice. The Garneau Theatre marquee has lit up 109th Street for over 80 years, inviting audiences in to enjoy a show. With the Princess's temporary closure, the Garneau here, more commonly referred to as Metro Cinema these days, is Edmonton's longest active running movie theater.
In October of 1940, the Garneau opened its doors to the sounds of Johann Strauss with the film The Great Waltz. And in 2009, the 525-seat house was restored to its original appearance. The Garneau has since played films that range from documentaries to foreigns to classics. It also continues to host the Edmonton International Film Festival and is one of the few theaters left that play both film and digital movies. Online streaming services are today what economics were back in the 30s, hinderers of the Cineplex. It's reasonable to wonder if theaters will still be relevant in the coming years, or if they'll become a reflection of what used to be.
Until that day comes, go to movie theaters, enjoy movies, laugh, cry, fantasize. Movies create emotions, and movie theaters bring us together to share in that emotion. For Second Edition, I'm AJ Muncie.
Hi, I'm Marco Bellemus, and today I'm joined with...
Hi, I'm Anna.
And today we're going to learn how to make woven friendship bracelets. So Anna, can you quickly go over what is a woven friendship bracelet?
So woven friendship bracelet looks like this. So it's actually a braided bracelet.
And can you quickly go over some of the materials that we'll need here today?
Yes, sure. So we need a metal ring. It's about 8mm in size.
Okay.
And some clasps. You can use either the spring clasp or this one's that's the lobster clasp. Okay. And then we need a 4-inch piece of yarn. Any yarn will do.
Okay.
Pair of scissors.
Of course.
And measuring tape.
For the length.
And then we need the embroidery floss.
All right.
And the important part of them is the weaving plate.
All right.
Your threads and fold it into half.
Okay.
Like this. And then get one of the threads or strands.
Just one of them?
Yeah. And then we're gonna put a slip knot in the middle.
And why do we have to put a slip knot in the middle there?
Okay, so the slip knot will secure the threads as we put it in the weaving plate.
Okay.
Okay, and once we have the slip knot, I'm gonna hold this metal ring there in the middle. Okay, hold one side. And then we're gonna insert the threads in between the slits. So we're gonna form a cross, so cross.
All right.
And then an X. Position your weaving plate like this.
Okay.
And the motion will be clockwise.
All right.
Okay, we start in this side. So bottom left strand up, and then top right down.
This one going down, right?
Okay.
Here.
Then we can tie a knot at the end like this.
Oh wow, like that? Okay.
And then cut out the excess threads and have your friendship bracelet. Okay, here, let me put this on your wrist.
Oh, thank you. Thanks again, Anna, for teaching us how to make a woven friendship bracelet.
You're welcome.
For Second Edition News, I'm Marco Bellemus.
I'm Anna.
Thanks for watching.
That's all for Second Edition this week. Thank you for joining us.
Tune in again next Wednesday. Be safe and take care.